welcome to the Man United show. We are live, and it's the Man United versus Crystal Palace preview. And I'm joined by my co-host, Nathan Ellerton. How you doing, Nathan?
Very, very good. Very excited for tomorrow. Can't wait. 2 p.m. Let's go.
Yeah. It's Ralph Rangnick's first game in charge. We've seen Michael Carrick depart. Sad for some, but it's the start of a new era, I suspect. Interim manager will be taking his first team against Crystal Palace come Sunday. Aaron Wan-Bissaka could be fit to come up against his old employers. Nemanja Matic, Luke Shaw could also be back into contention with for a place against Crystal Palace. However, Rafael Varane, Edinson Cavani, and Paul Pogba are all still out. What's your thoughts on the game on Sunday then, Nathan?
I'm just excited to see who he's going to pick first time. I think he'll probably pick more or less a similar starting lineup because I don't think it's fair to make major changes straight away. Mm-hmm. But I would like to see it, but I think I like to see him gradually bring it on. So I like to probably see him start with more or less the team that started and then see him, tinker a bit as the game goes on and then start seeing what he really wants to see, what I'm seeing. I'm sure he's going to see what I'm seeing because the way he talks is if he sees the way I'm seeing. Obviously, I'm seeing the way he's seeing, of course. He's not seeing the way I'm seeing. You know what I mean?
So, what did you see his first press conference?
Yep. Sorry.
And what were your thoughts? He's very, very well spoken. It seems very engaged. He's captivating almost, isn't he?
Yeah, he's you can see he's a thinker and he knows exactly wants to implement into that team. And he knows that it's not going to happen straight away. And he knows that he's got to work on a lot of things, but he knows also that you need time on the training field to make it implemented and actually to see the fruits of it. So he knows the first few weeks, even let's say 3-4 weeks, that'll be the tinkering time. That'll be the time to really, really nail down everything that he wants and find the players that are best suited to what he wants. And then you're going to start seeing the right things. And I think he'll slowly allow players to play their way into a starting lineup that will be not ruffling any feathers. I think he'll do a good job at that.
Based on the way he said he wants to play and what you may have seen of him or heard of him previously at his other jobs, who do you suspect could be a potential casualty in this Man United squad?
I think the main casualty is that man that I keep talking about at the moment. He's on my lips quite a bit at the moment. It's going to be Harry, I'm afraid. I think when everyone's fit, I see Varane and Bailly being the first starters, just due to the fact that they can push up high. They can do whatever they want, defend one-on-one, and allow Shaw and Wan-Bissaka or even Dalot or Telles to get forward and put stuff in the box and become rock and roll, like he said, and not have any problems defensively. I just cannot, for the life of me, see Maguire pushing up high with anyone, Lindelof and Maguire pushing up high, and us not leaking goals like there's no tomorrow. It's not going to happen. He cannot go all attacking and have them boys at the back. He can't. So he's going to have to choose one or the other. A lot of managers, they've chosen to be all defensive and put extra men defensively, which means we can't go forward really nicely. So, if that's what he wants, I'm sure he will pick the players that will allow him to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a bit foreign to you, this one, because you've not seen Rangnick set out his team before. You don't know the style of play that he's going to have with this United squad. But this is part of what we do. So what's your predicted lineup for Man United against Crystal Palace?
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to... Well, from what I know is fit, I know Telles is still fit. Shaw would probably be back in contention. I'd probably see Telles stay in, De Gea staying in, probably Maguire and Lindelof staying in to start with. And then if Wan-Bissaka is fit, I'd probably see him start because I think he's going to go with the main players. Now, where the bit that I'm interested to see is if he puts Fred with McTominay or Fred with Van der Beek? Because this is a position where I know he saw the Watford game. I know he saw the other games, and I know he saw what I saw. He's seeing that Van der Beek can make them passes that are going to make all the difference. So I'm going to be interested to see if he's going to put Fred with Van der Beek, or start with Fred and McTominay, then bring Van der Beek on for one of them boys and see how that plays out. Because I know he must want to get Van der Beek in there. I think the rest of the team, Sancho will play. Cristiano might be injured. So I'd love to see Greenwood come in there up front now. And then I'd give Rashford a chance, but I'd probably start with Martial, because I just want Rashford to be on his toes. I want him to realize that if he plays like that, he won't play. And then he'll have to come in and make sure he plays well to retain his place. And that's what we want to see. We want to see people playing well and staying in the team on merit. Because if that was the case, Bailly would be still playing, Van der Beek will be still playing right now, and probably Greenwood would be playing still. Obviously, different things happen at times and people get injured and ill. So sometimes there are changes. So anyway, that's my kind of thought process now.
All right. So before we go on, if you are watching on Twitter, make sure you come over to KS1 TV, smash that like, smash the subscribe, and come in and join the chat. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, come over. Don't forget to change the settings on Facebook so we can actually see who you are when you are commenting as well. Jadon Sancho, his form's picked up recently. He's looking like not anywhere near the player that we saw in Germany, but he's looking like he's starting to feel a bit more comfortable and a bit more confident on the ball. Do you think someone like Rangnick, who knows how good he was in Germany, he'd be encouraged to play under this kind of manager and coach?
It's going to be right up his street. Fast flowing football, winning the ball and getting on the counter is something that is all in his DNA. Sancho's DNA is to play off the cuff. Not off the cuff, I don't mean that. Like when he's forced to make quick decisions, he makes the right decisions more often than not. And that's what I like about him. And we're seeing it a lot more. He's much more confident on the ball. But watch when we get him the ball earlier, even earlier. That's going to be where you see dynamite Sancho. Like, I really think he's going to make a lot of difference in our team. He's probably going to be the mainstayer over all the wingers we've got, the player who you know is going to be the dead cert to start very soon. Because the way Rangnick, I've heard that he wants to play, like I say, it's right up his street. Right up his street. Do
you also think we might be able to see a bit someone like Ahmed get into the team? Yes. Some of these youngsters start to come through? Because, I mean, even as someone who's not a Man United fan, I want to see this kid play. I've kept an eye on him for a couple of seasons now, and it's an exciting prospect.
He is another player who entices you onto him and pops the ball. He's very comfortable in possession. So again, Rangnick wants players who are comfortable in possession and can hurt you and make the right decisions. Like I said, I think he's like a little Leo Messi type of player. Seriously, he can make things happen. And I want to see him coming through this season. And I think Rangnick will see the quality in him in training and see what he can do according to the way he wants to play. You know, and I think he'll get more minutes. He'll start coming on soon. Not straight away. I think it'll take a bit of time. But if he's in and around that bench, we might start seeing him really come through, because if he's playing with all the big boys, I'm telling you, he will hold his own with this side, because he played amazing last game of the season against Wolves. And you can see he was loving it, loving that they couldn't get the ball off him, and he was just popping it around everyone. It was lovely. It was lovely.
Yeah. I think I just see a comment in there. While Sancho was playing in Germany, Rangnick said he was the most complete player he'd seen at that age. And it's surprising how it's not, as Emil Heskey said when he was on the pod, you can't expect someone who's been brought up. Yes, he had his youth development at Man City, but you can't expect someone who's been brought up in a completely different league, in where he's had his best form so far in his career in that league, to come into the Premier League and hit the ground running. You can't expect that. You haven't seen it from anyone else who's come over here, the likes of Havertz or anyone else. So don't expect it of Jadon Sancho. So as we're saying there, it's got to be an exciting time for him.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you. But you look, it's all about what you have around you as well. That will help you embed in quicker, and the type of football that you're used to as well. So although he's not played in the Prem, for long. I think this is now going to help him bed in a lot quicker than if he was under Ollie, because I think Ollie didn't know how to get the best out of him yet. Brought him in thinking he could just jump in the side and just do a job. But if you don't have help behind you, you're not going to be able to do it. As a winger, we all know you're only as good as your service. Your service has to come to you very, very quickly, and the ball has to be transferred from one side to the other very quickly, or you have to win the ball high up so you're free. You should be able to face your man and run at him. That's Sancho at his best. The amount of times we get the ball, Rashford gets the ball and his back's to goal and he has to just go back to Shaw. And Sancho had to just go back to Wan-Bissaka. It was annoying because that's not what you see with the other big boys. You see the ball getting switched, didn't it, one-on-one? And then they think, right, let me go one-on-one. Right. I can't do nothing here. Right, let me go back. Then they'll switch it to the other side and someone else is one-on-one. And then there's an overlap and all of a sudden there's goals. This is what we want. This is the football, possession football that Rangnick has been talking about. It's music to my ears. And I am so excited at what this guy is going to try and implement and the players he's going to try and use. That's another thing. Is he just going to go to anyone in the side that can do exactly what he wants, even though he might look like a player who's not, as established or as good? He might be able to do that role that he wants and he plays. You might see a Ghana just jump in there, out of nowhere, like, Ghana, wow, we didn't know you could play. He might do that. You never know. You never know. So I'm really, really excited.
It'd be interesting to see who does come through. Even players not that, like, we know about the Amads, we know about Donny van der Beek, who we saying should be playing, but it'd be interesting to see who he sees from himself, from his own eyes, that he thinks, oh, actually, I think he could do something. That, I mean, the talent that Man United have got through it in their under 23 squad. So there's a lot to pick from. It'd be good to see who he does pick.
It is going to be exciting.
Give us your key player based on that squad that you've picked.
I think in a game at Old Trafford, we're playing them at Old Trafford. Like, I know when we're playing away, it's not going to be the same. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, you know what? If they play that similar kind of team, Cristiano's out injured. If he's out injured, Sancho might have to be the key man this time. He might have to be the key man. They might just bring that type of football. I'm just thinking, a guy that suits Sancho the most, he's coming in and he's probably going to work towards Sancho. And then, imagine Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford, or Greenwood, Sancho, Martial. That's a front three, ridiculous, mate. Get the ball to those. Wow.
Sancho. Crystal Palace would be a team I think Sancho want to come up against. South London. It's that sort of football. You got Zaha there. They're going to want to be. They're going to be fighting for the egos. Who's the better trickster? It's a game fit for him. I think you're right. I think for me, I'd say key player Sancho. I've seen him in recent weeks. He's walking with a different swag, and I think after Christmas, I think you'll see a different Sancho to what we've seen from the start of the season so far.
Exactly. This boy. He's every game he's playing better and better now. So he's probably getting fitter and fitter.
But he's not even. I don't think he's even hitting anywhere near what he's capable of either, though.
No,
nowhere near.
No. He is probably playing like 6 out of 10 according to like where he can get to. Like it's going to be amazing when he does start, bringing those performances, because we know what he's about. We know what he can do. And I'm sure he will produce the exact same thing here as well.
All right. Let us know who your key player is. Donny, are you worried about Man United? Is there anyone at Crystal Palace you're worried about in tomorrow's game, Nathan?
They've been doing really well under Vieira, to be honest. Obviously, I'm not looking at who's doing the job, but I know Zaha's always a danger. And Benteke started showing me he's showing me that a bit, so he scored a few goals. So, it's a bit of a scary one that Vieira's got him playing some ball and doing well. So, to be fair, we do have to be on our toes and ready. But we should be able to take care of Crystal Palace. If we don't take care, I know they're mid-table. I think they're mid-table now. So they're not doing too bad. They're probably right next to us actually, because we're mid-table. So yeah, it's not far away. We're not far away from them. So gonna be a tough one still, because we're still in transition. It's not like we're just gonna bump and win the game, unless he can implement something, you know, on the whiteboard, so then they can just take it off into the game straight away. We'll see.
All right, yeah, Conor Gallagher looks like he could be pretty decent. He's a decent player, very good all-round central midfielder, can go forward. It reminds me of like an attacking version of Scotty Parker. What Scotty Parker should have been if he didn't go Chelsea. Charlton fans will understand what I'm talking about. What is your predicted score?
I still think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this one. I think we're going to win it 3-1. I got a feeling we're going to win 3-1. I think we're going to win 3-1. I've got 3-1 in my head. I've got Greenwood getting on the score sheet. Got Sancho getting on the score sheet. And I've got Bruno getting on the score sheet. I think Sancho's going to be setting up some goals again as well. I think Greenwood will score from a Sancho ball. For some reason, I think Greenwood's playing. Unless it's Cristiano, then we substitute that for the goal for Cristiano, you know. But I think he's hurt himself, hasn't he, Cristiano?
Oh, is he? I didn't see any team news on that, so it might only be a slight knock.
But I saw something on one of the other channels where the headline was Cristiano injured, injury crisis maybe. So he might have injured himself in that in a celebration or something. So I hope not, but we'll see. But I got 3-1 to United. Got 3-1.
All right.
No clean sheet again, but I got us winning.
Donny, this is a different manager. That manager's gone. Since then, Man United have won 1-2, drawn 1. And that draw was against a very good Chelsea team. So you're up against it, Donny, but I'm sure it'll be a very, very good game. Donny, give us your score prediction before we go.
Is he thinking we're going to lose to Palace at Old Trafford with a new manager? Come on, Donny. Donny, come on. What you got for us? What you got?
All right, Donny, give us your score predictions before we go. Once again, if you are watching on Twitter, come over to KS1 TV on YouTube, smash the subscribe button and the notifications button. We've had some top guests on recently, and more to come. Donny's going for a 2-1 victory. What you scorers, Donny? Is Wilf coming back to haunt Man United? Is Conor Gallagher going to be the midfield maestro who smashes that ball in the back of the net? Will Nathan be having nightmares because Benteke's doing the old stomp? What will it be? Never heard of Ragnak. Don't lie. You need to get your head out the sand, mate. You've definitely heard of Ragnak, 100%. All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone, so far. We will be on at 4 o'clock Sunday for the post-match reaction.
Yes, it will be. 4 o'clock it is.
Post-match reaction at 4 o'clock. So, yeah, you make sure you catch us for that. We will be being as interactive as we can be. Well, did he not get Schalke to the Champions League semi-final against Man United? And that's you look where Schalke are now. He also built
promotions with the other team.
RB Leipzig from top to bottom with the way that they run. He's done a lot. This is why he's coming as an interim manager. He's going to be a consultant upstairs. I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of being potential director of football. There we go. He knows. Yes. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Nathan.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Been good.
All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.